I am Anil Kumar. Welcome to my series on solving EQAO test papers. Here is 2016 grade 3 test paper which we are going to solve. I would like you to pause the video, copy each question, solve it yourself, and then look into my suggestions. The very first question here is, what is 79 plus 22? So you can write these numbers 79 and 22 and then add them. 9 plus 2 is 11, 1 carry forward, and 7 plus 1, 8 plus 2 is 10. So you get 101 as your answer. So 101 has to be filled in that circle. You have to do it in pencil, not with ink, right? Let's look into question number 2 now. In question number 2, it says what numbers go in the boxes in order to make this diagram correct. So let me show you the whole diagram first. You can now pause the video, answer this question, and then check with my solution. So the first number here is 6, that is the start, right? 6 times 2 is 12, right? So we get 12 here. And then you need to divide this by 3. Dividing 12 by 3, we get the number 4. And then you have to multiply this by 6. Multiplying by 6 is 24. And when you divide 24 by 4, half of half that is, we get 6. So that is correct. So the sequence which is correct is 12, 4, 24, which for us is the last option, correct? So we'll fill up the last option as the correct option for this particular question. Is that clear to you? Let's move on and take the third question. Now these questions are without calculator, correct? So I hope you must have noticed this. Right on the top, it was without calculator. So you have to do these first 4 questions without calculator. Question 3 here is, Petra reads 22 books in October, 39 books in November. Which estimate is closest to the total number of books Petra reads during these months? Now these are given in tens, so let's round them. So 22 can be rounded to 20, right? And 39, you could round that to 40. And when you add them, you get 60. So 60 is the right option. Is that clear to you? So that is how you're going to do it. 4. Brock has 112 trading cards. His brother gives him 180 more. So when you have 112, somebody gives you, that means you have to add those numbers, 108, right? Brooke then gave away, that means this will be minus, right? 130 cards to a friend. How many trading cards does Brooke have left? So first you have to add, let's add that. 2 plus 8 is 10, 1 carry forward, 1 and 1 is 2 and 2. Now you take away 130. So to take away 130, 0 take away 0, we have to borrow 1 from here. So 3 take away from 12 is 9 and 1 is 0. So we get option 3, which is 90 as the correct option, right? Now for other questions, calculators are allowed, okay? So here the question is, which figure is a pentagonal pyramid? So pyramid and pentagon. Pentagon means 5 sides, right? So 5 sides, we have to look for the base with 5 sides. So the first one is a square. Then we have how many sides here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is correct. So we'll take the option 2 as the correct option since it has 5 sides of the base. That is pentagonal pyramid. Perfect. Question number 6. Question number 6 here is, Sammy joins 3 pieces of wood to make a 2-meter bridge. So basically, this bridge which you see here is a 2-meter bridge. And in this there are 3 pieces. between these two desks. So these are your desks. The first piece is 70 centimeters, right? So 2 meter is actually 200 centimeters, okay? The first piece is 70 centimeters. So first piece we have is about from here 70 centimeters, okay? What could the measure of other two pieces be? So from 200 we should take away 70, right? So to solve this question, what we should be doing is that from 200 we will take away 70. So when you take away, you get 130. So addition of these two pieces should be 130, right? So what will add to 130? That is what we have to see. Well, clearly 80 plus 50 is 130. So you should know here that first step is to convert 2 meters into 200 centimeters. Remember that 1 meter is 100 centimeter, correct? So in this case 2 meters should be 200 centimeters. So once you convert, then you take away 70 centimeters and what remains is 130. The combination which gives you 130 is 80 and 50. So that adds to give you 130. That will be the right answer. Clear? Now let's take question number 7. In question number 7, we are given a pattern. This pattern has two missing numbers, right? What is the rule for this pattern? So we are given plus and minus. Well, we are given these three numbers. We can work with these three to get the answer. So you know it is decreasing pattern. So we know we have to take away something, right? So how much do we take away to get the next number? We can do 49 minus 43 and we get 6. Oh, so 6 take away. Decreasing means negative. So negative 6 is the right option. Does it make sense to you? So that is how we are going to solve this particular question. Correct? Now let's take question number 8. Question number 8. There are 24 students in Mrs. Lois' grade 3 class. She divides the class into 4 equal groups. So let's make 4 equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make a drawing to show the 24 students divided into 4 equal groups, right? So you could do a couple of things. That is, total students are 24. So you could divide 24 by 4. What you get is 6. This is one way. So we could have 6 in each, right? So we have 6, 6, 6, and 6. That is one thing which we could do. Well, we could do it like this also, that we have 24 students. So we could do like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So clearly you see that you get 6 in each group, right? So that's another way of doing it. Okay, so we have done the distribution of our 24 students into 4 groups. Now let's see the second part of this question. It says one of these groups goes to library. So let us say one of these groups, any one, right? So out of all of them, out of all the 4, let's take away 1 to the library. So let's assume that this group goes to the library. Now the question here is, what fraction of the group goes to the library? Justify your answer. So clearly, out of 4 groups, 1 goes. So 1 out of 4 goes to the library. Is that clear to you, right? So the fraction of group which goes is 1 out of 4, right? So you can say 1 out of 4 groups goes to the library. So that is how you could justify, right? So, and you can write your answer at the end, which says the fraction of the groups that goes to the library is 1 out of 4. Clear? So that is how it should be answered. Now these are open response questions, right? So when you write open response, you have to explain your solution. That is why we explained it in two different ways to you. Question number 9 is also open response question. Now it says, draw the shortest path from school to the park and the shortest path from the school to the store on these grid lines. And the second part of this is describe both paths, right? So this is kind of a tricky question, I should say. Now, we will say, normally speaking, you have to go along the road, right? So along, it says the school to the store on these grid lines, right? So since we have to go on the grid lines, we could go like this, right? So there are many paths, correct, which could go. Now you will notice that every path which you draw actually takes how many units? It is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 1, 9. So every path is 9 units from school to the park. Correct? But, well, let's create an option, and that is, we have an assumption, so we'll write assumption here. That is, suppose if we can walk through, as the crow flies, this could be the shortest path, right? So the shortest path could be shown by a straight line if we are allowed to walk through as the crow flies. So in this case, both the paths shortest could be like this, right? They could be the shortest path. If we are allowed to walk through, perfect. But normally, in the given scenario, there will be buildings here you cannot walk through. You get the idea? So, you can see that all the paths could be leading to the same length, right? So even if I go through this path, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So how do we describe them? That's a big question now. So we'll assume if you can walk through, then you can go through this, but normally it is not possible, right? So every path is a 9 units from school to the park. So from school to the park, what you could do is that you could go 4 units left. So you could go 4 units from the school. You can go 4 units west and 5 units south. So you could describe like this, where the north for us is in this direction, correct? And east in this direction. Does make sense to you? So if we are allowed to go through, you can go as the crow flies, but however, we should go along the road. And any road you take, all will take you 9 units from school to the park. The other path, which is school to the store, you have to go how much? You have to go right 2 units, right? So you go here 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3 down. So it is 5 units. Do you see that path? So along the road, we'll write along the road. it is 2 units east and 3 units south. So basically you have to walk 5 units in all. 5 units in all. Is it okay? 5 units in all. So we are assuming that we cannot go as shown by the pink path, right? So there will be buildings. So when you have a grid, we cannot assume that we can go like shown in the pink line. Perfect. So any path you draw, describe that path, but you are moving from school to park, you are moving either west and south, and from school to store, you are moving either east and south, right? So this side is east, this side is west, and that is going downwards is south. So that is how you should be describing it. I hope that is clear, right? Let's take the next question. It is also open response question. It says, Kale creates this pattern number. Start at 1 and add 6 each time. Marla creates this pattern. Start at 3 and add 7 each time. Write numbers that is in both Kale's and Marla's pattern. Justify your answer. So let's make Kale's pattern first. Start at 1, that means 1 is there. Add 6. So when you add 6, you get 7, right? Then again add 6, you get 13. Keep on adding 6, right? So you get 19. And then again you add 6, you get 25. And then again you add 6, you get 31. Add 6, you get 37, right? So keep on adding 6. If you add 6 to 37, you get 41. See, the calculator, 6 and 7 is 13, so you get 43, right? So, calculator is allowed, right? So you could add on 6 and write down your values. Now let's write Marla's pattern. It is start at 3, so start at 3 and add 7. So when you go from here to there, you have to add 7, so that means 10. And then again you add 7, which is 17, add 7, 24, add 7, 31. So well, we got one common element, 31. So write the number that is in both Kale's and Marla's pattern. Justify your answer. So here is the pattern, and we have 31 as the common element in both. Is that clear to you? Now let's look into next open response question, which is question number 11. Some of the results of a survey about favorite snacks of 24 students, so total is 24, are shown in a pictograph. So that's a pictograph for you. The question here is, the information for the number of students who have chosen cheese is missing. So this is missing. Complete the pictograph to show how many students have chosen cheese. Justify your answer. Okay, so we have 24 in all. Let's write down how many apples. Well, the key is each smiley face is two students. So these are 2, 4, 6, 8, right? 2, 4 and 1 is 5. 2 and 2, 4. So these will give you how much? So if you add these, you get 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 plus 8 is 17. But we have 24 students, right? So we'll do 24, take away 17, and that is 14 take away 17 is 7, 1 take away is 0. So we have to fill in 7. 7 means we have to draw how many smiley face? We have to draw 3 smiley face, which will give us 6 and 1/2, right? So is that clear to you? So that is how we could complete the pictograph. Perfect. So let's move on and take the next question. Number 12 is a multiple choice question. It says, what is the area of this triangle? Well, there are a couple of ways you could count these squares to find the area. Or you could think like this. You can make two triangles by completing this and find total area. Now the area is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we get 6 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times 6 is 36. We are going to divide this by 2 since we are looking into one triangle, not two triangles. So 36 divided by 2 is 18. So the correct answer should be 18, right? So out of the choices given to us, 18 is also a choice, so we'll fill this up. Is that clear to you? So that is how you could answer this question. Well, some of you could do this. Just add the full squares, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now, 15, 16, 17, 18. Do you see that? So we get 16, 17, and 18. So you could count the squares also to find your answer, right? Now let's look into question number 13. Question number 13 is, which number pattern shows adding 5 each time? Okay, so let's check. Here what happens? You have to add 5 to get to 14, and then plus 5 to get to 19, plus 5 to 24, and plus 5 to 29. So the first one is correct. So we'll do the first one and move on to the next question, which is question number 14 for us. Is that clear? You don't have to try all of them once you get the right answer. Question number 14 is, this pictograph shows information about the leaves that Mr. Smith has for an art project. Yellow, so those many. You have to always look into the key, right? So the idea here is to look into the key. This is very important. Each is 4, right? So 4 leaves. How many leaves does he have in total? So this is 4, right? So 4 plus 2 is 6. 1, 2, 3 fours means 12. 4, 8, and 2, 10. And this is 4. Add them up, right? So you get 6 plus 2, 8. 8 plus 4, 12, 2. And then we get 32. You could do like this. Other way is just count the leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 8. And you could say, well, it is 8 times the key, which is 4. So you get 32. Is that clear to you? So that is how you could do it. So we get 32 as the correct answer. So follow the method which works better for you. For total, there is no harm in just counting all the leaves and then figuring out the answer. Is that clear to you? Okay, we are almost at the end now. Question number 15, which shows a transformation that matches its title. So let's look into these translations. First one, translation. So when you translate, this is on the other side. So that is not correct? Since this is on the other side. Now this is also a translation. Well, this is not a translation. It's kind of a rotation. So that is not correct either. The third one here is a rotation. Well, it looks like a rotation. It is being rotated. So that is perfectly fine. So that seems to be correct option, right? So what has really happened here is that you are rotating this about the point, which is this point, right? So when you rotate it, you will get this figure. As far as the reflection is concerned, it is incorrect since these dots do not match, right? These dots do not match it. This is a translation basically, right? Not a reflection. So this rotation is the correct option. Now this is the last page for us. Question number 16. Which measurement is the longest? Well, clearly 21 meters is the longest, right? So 21 meters. Centimeters is 1/100th of 1 meter, right? So 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So 21 meter will be 2100 centimeters, much bigger than any other given in this list. Question number 17 is, the pattern is made by removing 3 blocks each time. The pattern continues. How many blocks will shape 4 have? So we have to find the number of blocks in 4th shape. Let's figure this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means we have 16 here, right? So when you take away 3, we have 13 here. Taking away 3 is 10. Taking away 3 is 7. So just do minus 3 each time, right? So when you do minus 3 each time, you get your pattern and the answer. So clearly the answer is 7. So I hope you find it simple and easy, right? Okay, the next one is about the clock. Which clock shows 10 minutes past after 5, right? So past means somewhere here, right? So this one is not correct. So the option which is shown here seems to be correct. So that is 10 minutes past 5. Is that clear to you? So that is how we are going to solve the given test paper. Now it is very important to note that these are not all the answers or the questions for you. Normally EQAO will only share with you a part of the test paper, right? So there are many portions which you need to revise, and you should be looking into my videos which I have on this topic. So I have solved for you many EQAO test papers, correct? I will recommend that for the other videos or the other questions, you should watch my video on 2018, where I have covered all the topics which are missing from this particular test paper. I hope that helps. You should feel free to contact me on this email if required. Thanks for watching and all the best.